Do you know what day it is? Happy birthday to Trench. Happy birthday to Trench. Happy birthday to Trench. Happy birthday to Trench. That's right, it is Trench's birthday. It came out in 2018. It is 3 years old, which is hard to believe. I remember the album coming out. I was sitting in my dorm room at midnight, and just the gut punch of hearing Neon Gravestones for the first time, me crying at the very end of Chlorine, and like just listening to Smithereens, my favorite song off of Trench, because I just made that emotional connection with my girlfriend's Her and I's song, and just blasting it and playing it so much. And I have a lot of fond memories of the era, like seeing 21 Pilots for the first time live, and then seeing them again the very same year. And I'm not alone. There are many people who love the Trench era, whose favorite album is Trench, and have very fond memories of it, who says it's their favorite album of all time by any artist, and they put it on such a high pedestal, and I wonder why that is. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? First off, I hope you're having a good day today. Hope your day is going well, and hope it continues to go well. Here is why people like and or dislike Trench, and it's important as we go along this to remember that music is so subjective. What I like, you guys most likely definitely won't like, unless you like the 12-tone music of Arnold Schoenberg, or how out there John Cage is, or if you like the band Fish. If you like any of those, we are immediately best friends. But odds are what I like won't be what you like won't be what your parents like, in the cycle of music being so subjective from person to person to person, and it is completely fine to dislike something or not like something as much as the other person does. So keep an open mind as you go along in this, and this is my little analysis of why people like and or dislike Trench. Let's get right into it. Also, a huge shout out goes out to the YouTube community section, as well as people in JLAndersonMusic Discord server. Basically, halfway through today, I'm like, oh, Trench's birthday is tomorrow. Let me pose this question really quick. Submit it over to the JLAndersonMusic Discord server, and everyone funneled and left their comments in this little thread community post thing, to which there will be a link down in the description box below to this community post, so that way you can contribute and read other people's comments who don't make it in the video, because we are going to be taking a section and spotlighting members of the community at the end and their thoughts on Trench. But let's get into our first reason why people like Trench so much, and that is, it is the start of the Dima storyline. People love it because of the lore that is there. They love the story that it's telling. This is where we got all of Clancy's journals. This is where we got introduced to Dima for the first time. We got songs like Jumpsuit, Levitate, Nico and the Niners, Morph, Bandito, Leave the City, all important songs to play a contribution into the Dima storyline, and I can definitely see that, because like it is very exciting, because like you get put inside of these landscapes, and the music videos certainly help that, putting you inside of Trench, putting you inside of Dima, inside the Bandito camp, and it is very super interesting. To which I do, like, I'm playing devil's advocate here. My only flaw with this is that it's very, like, at least the album wise, like you had to like search the Clancy journals, but like the play devil's advocate here, the lore was just laid out straight in front of you, like Nico and the Niners, like Bandito, like Levitate, like Morph. It was just like, here's the story. Here's the story there. Make connections with the other album, to where Scale Nicey is like, yeah, figure it out, good luck. But some people like that. It's just like, yeah, here's the story, here you go, here it is on silver platter. Some people like that more Clue investigation type stuff, but it's all personal preference, to which the lore is still super fantastic, and I love it, because like this is where the story begins, and it gets super interesting, especially when it's like just all the little runes on the front, because you get the FPE, you get the Vulture, you get the Jumpsuit medallion, you get the what the 21 Pilots logo is, you get the East is Up logo, which goes into this next era with the Psy, and of course you get Clifford on front, who is our Vulture friend, who's also a dragon according to Tyler. And I can understand why people love it from the lore perspective. Reason number two why people like it is because of the production. A lot of people call this as 21 Pilots' best produced album, which is definitely hard to disagree, because like the production on it is top tier. Legit, I'm going to be taking a class on how Chlorine was mixed as soon as I'm done this semester, and or maybe next week, because I'd have 2 days off next week. I might spend a day just learning how Chlorine was mixed. But it is just a fantastic album that has been put together. Like, the person who mixed the album, I forget their name right now, did so much better. And like, it is like an amazing like just transition of like looking at how Blurryface was, how Vessel was, and then comparing it to Trench, this whole megalodon, if you will, of sound. And it's absolutely fantastic. Every little bit and part of it put together so neatly. If I had to a little like, what's the word? Jab needle on the side, that's not it. Nitpick, that's the word. If I had to nitpick anything, it's just the beginning of the Pet Cheetah rap. It's hard panned over to the one side, and I listened to this for the first time with a broken speaker in my computer, so I didn't hear the first part of the Pet Cheetah rap. I was reading the lyrics, I'm like, why am I not hearing where Jason Statham comes in? Then I bet you stood on his feet. Then we got the rest of the rap. So that's my only flaw when it comes to production. Other than that, like, it's a well-produced album. You got some great synth sounds on here. The trumpet in Legend sounds amazing. The reverb of the piano is awesome. In Bandito, it's amazing that they just play the intro melody just reversed during the Salo Felina section, and it's absolutely fantastic and amazing and just super grungy, super heavy, super dark, super warm at times, and I love it so much. Not too bright, but it is pretty good. Reason number three why people like it is because of all the songs that are on there, which is hard to argue because there are some serious bops that are on Trench. I mean, of course, you get Chlorine, which is one of 21 Pilots' most streamed songs of all time. I think it's in their top 5, if not their top 4. But it has, according to Spotify right now as I look at it, over 300 million streams, which I know is pretty up there. It's the most streamed song off of Trench, which is, of course, well-deserved because it is such a great song. Of course, we get Ned in that music video, and a lot of people also love the music videos, as I stated before, but you get a lot of people like connecting a lot with My Blood. A lot of people who love Bandito so much. That is their cry song. Another section has their cry song as Neon Gravestones. Another section, which includes myself, has their cry song in Leave the City. Of course, you got Cut My Lip, which is very good. Pet Cheetah, which is a bop that everyone loves, and like everyone really loved hearing that live. Legend, such an underrated song that I've been like just feeling way more and more recently, and it's just been hurting a lot. You get the hype, totally not Wonderwall there. And of course you get the heavy grunge of Jumpsuit, and then the epic rap of Levitate. It reminds me a lot of Self-Titled, how we just start off with this sound of just like this nice beautiful thing, then you get loud angry piano where Tyler is challenging God, then we go into Fall Away where it's just this epic rap song Tyler does. We kind of get the same thing here, except just knock out all that pretty intro and just go straight into the heaviness, then Tyler just killing it with a rap song. And we got a lot of people's one of the top songs, Morph, which I'm going to be doing another video about later that I totally forgot that I asked, but a lot of people love Morph. I know some people call it their favorite 21 Pilots song of all time, and a lot of people say it's their favorite song off of Trench. I'm very surprised about the Morph stands out there. And of course, like Smithereens, My Love, My Beloved, because again, super personal song. And then you get the lore of Nico and Nyers and all the stuff. It's so good, so good. 21 Pilots doesn't have any skips except for Cancer, but that song makes me cry, so it deserves a skip. But it is just an epic album full of the most like amazing songs that Tyler has ever written. And Tyler said in the Zane Lowe interview, if I remember correctly, that with this album he was trying to change the wheel when it comes to songwriting, trying to do something different. With Scale 90, he reverted back to that old like just cycle of writing a song, if you will. And this one he tried to breaking the cycle. Don't you shy away, but other things. Now, I haven't made this post long enough so that way people who don't like Trench can contribute why they don't like Trench, but honestly, there's not a lot of people I find who dislike Trench, so let me speak up for them. You see, way back in the day, 2 months ago, I ranked all my 21 Pilots albums in the order from my least favorite to favorite, which I must say, 21 Pilots have no bad albums, 21 Pilots have no bad songs. However, people get really upset when you rank Trench as number 4 and you have Regional at Best as an honorable mention, which means that Trench is second from the bottom. People really did not like that, and it just comes to the fact that for me, I have a lot more emotional connections with other songs off of other albums, and dare I say it, I think I'm starting to like Self-Titled more than Trench, but Self-Titled is a newer album to me because I have just I listened to the whole thing in full recently without skips, and I've just been falling more and more in love with Trapdoor, with Aircatcher, Before You Start Your Day, Fall Away, Friend Please, all those songs. And I think personally, myself, I really overplayed Trench to death. Like, of course, it's such an amazing album. It deserves to be played to death. However, from my world of like doing the music major thing of like listening to 1,000 songs per week, doing songs for classes, doing these jazz songs, doing songs I have to do for my guitar lessons, and just like getting well versed in other genres, and I would go back and listen to Trench, my ear would go into someplace else, and I would be over analyzing Trench way too much, which caused me to sour on the album a little bit. I still love Trench and so near and dear to my heart, and I wasn't a full-blown clicky at the time like I am now in this era, but I think personally for me, I just overplayed Trench to death, which really doesn't speak a lot for the people who don't like Trench. I know that is just my side of things, why I ranked it super low. Maybe just getting a little bit of this off my chest for its birthday. Trench, I still love you to death. You still mean a lot to me, and I love you, Trench. And I'll be blasting you today. Don't worry. So now we got that off of my chest, let's go ahead and take a look at members of the YouTube comment section and see what they have to say about Trench. Trench is their best album, such good mixing, and the songs are masterpieces. It's their only album I could listen to in its entirety. Love it. I love Trench, but it's not my favorite. I feel that every song off of it is so good, but I just can't help but love the other albums more due to the absolute originality that comes with the previous albums. Also, Trench doesn't stand out to me much. The album cover and the name make it sound like a grunge rock album, Jumpsuit, which is not bad by any means, but still. To sum it up, I don't dislike Trench, but I don't think it's their best. Feel free to disagree. Pros: lore, great sound and demos, great music videos, rock opera vibes. Cons: a bit long for an album. The rapping part of Pet Cheetah isn't great, disrupted our sleep schedules. At first, Trench was a bit dark and aggressive and took me by surprise, but like every T.O.P. album, it quickly grew on me thanks to its concept-like storyline. It was so unique and well put together that I couldn't help but just get lost in the story. It really brought the Demo storyline to life. I think Trench is their best album. It is mixed very well and the production is incredible. Some of my least favorite songs at the release, such as Jumpsuit and Levitate, have now become some of my favorite from the entire album. I recently gave it a listen from top to bottom and I think it is really well put together. Even though Trench is so well made, Vessel still takes my place for my favorite album of theirs, especially if you include the bonus tracks. Best T.O.P. album. Trench is their best album because the production is amazing, story and lore is the front and center as it should be. With a concept album, songs are ambitious but still accessible. The album flows wonderfully by balancing high energy and low energy and feels like it never drags. As someone who appreciates ambition in music, I feel like Trench is the perfect T.O.P. album for me and other music nerds. Love it! The intense and creative story that underlines the entire album makes it's such much enjoyable, and the subtext lore is great to get into, more eventful than the entirety of the Twilight Saga, although I think some of the writing choices were a bit off, and the album sections get thrown off with songs like Smithereens that were a lot of DAWs and electronic instruments that feel like didn't fit in the context of the songs. My personal opinions, please don't attack me. Other than that, it's a banger. I love Trench. I personally think it's their best album because there's such a great variety of songs. Sadder songs, brighter songs, chill songs, raps, screaming, etc. I also love the lore in that it's basically a concept album that tells a story with the songs all put together, but each song also has its own story. Other reasons why I think it's their best album is that it's really well produced, Tyler's vocals are amazing, it's not super long nor a short album. In conclusion, I love Trench and it's my favorite album of all time. Trench is my favorite album of all time. I listen to it if I'm sad, happy, or truly any other feelings. I wish I had listened to it when it first came out for so many reasons, but it helped me so much since I listened to it. If I could thank Tyler and Josh for writing this album, I would. It's great because of the storytelling aspect. It created an amazing world that makes you feel like you're in it. It spoke to me about mental health and mental illness and made me feel seen and heard for the first time. So did Blurryface, but Trench did in a way I can't begin to understand. It holds a very special place in my heart and always will. I love Trench so much, it's almost my favorite album. The main thing I love about it is that it's unique compared to all of the other albums, is the sound follows a very clever dynamic. If you listen to the album from back to back, you get a very wide range and a variety of sounds and genres, but each song seems to flow and have the same ambient feeling. You almost get this feeling as you go through the album of starting into an open space, and each song gets you feeling enclosed and falling into a narrow, smaller space. It's very hard to explain, but starting with Jumpsuit, it's just a wide open feel. Then as you go, the beats and the drums seem to tend to get more compressed and restricted, and then songs like Bandito and Pet Cheetah, the album is a whole different place sound-wise when it starts, and it's truly incredible how they pull off something like this. It's hard to explain, but comment below if you kinda get what I mean. Another reason why I love it so much is the production is top-notch all the way through. The attention to detail with every single sound is amazing and so pleasing to listen to. I also love the overall sound of all the songs. It seems to have a darkish, softish rock rap feel, but then if you look at songs like Jumpsuit being a heavy rock song, you have Pet Cheetah and Levitate being mostly rap, you can dance to the songs like My Blood, pop rock like Chlorine and The Hype, and sad songs like Bandito and Leave the City. It's just such a versatile record that it's honestly the best 21 Pilots album we've had so far, in my opinion. It's not my favorite, Blurryface is just above that, but I can admit Trench is the superior album. Oh, I also it has one of my favorite songs, Leave the City, and Jumpsuit, Morph, Bandito, Chlorine, which are all in my top 20 songs of all time. And by the time I edit this and upload this, there might be some more comments in that little post, so make sure you go check it out, link down in the description box below, and or you can comment in this comment section of this video. Why do you like Trench so much, and or if you dislike Trench, I would love to know why. To which I do want to say, if someone does leave a comment on why they dislike Trench, please do not attack them. As we started off with this video, music is so subjective, and it's completely fine to not like this album more than the next person. Like you've heard people in the posts that I read that they said they love Trench, but it's not their favorite 21 Pilots album. That is perfectly okay. My favorite 21 Pilots album is Scaled and Icy for a wide variety of reasons, which I will not go into because this video is long already, but it is perfectly okay because music is so subjective. If I stop doing YouTube tomorrow, I want you to know that is the thing to take away. Music is subjective. We have a conversation about what we like versus what we don't like about songs and albums, and it's a nice conversation. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go edit this video. I still have a paper I need to finish, so I'm gonna go do that. Happy birthday, Trench. Very nice having you, and we'll see you around next year around the sun, or maybe you can, you'll go to kindergarten. Maybe say, I know you said your first words already, which were probably either jumpsuit and or bandito, but have a good birthday, Trench. And everyone out there, I will see you all tomorrow with another video, and yeah, I'll see you then. Goodbye, and more importantly, have a good day, and I'll see you later.